And the online gambling situation, billions of dollars have been targeted
to our community,
specifically to the Black community.
Yep.
And it's worked. I know firsthand when I saw online gambling 5 years ago. Shout out to my man Larry. He won big, and it wasn't as big as it is now, nowhere near as big as it is now. So I actually watched the growth happen over the course of time, and it was strategically done. They have Joe Budden podcast. They have Cam and Mace's podcast. Mm-hmm. They have Gillian Wallow's podcast. They have Shannon Sharpe's podcast. I mean, you name it, right? They have Gilbert Arenas' podcast. So it's like, man, they have Drake as a brand ambassador. Like, people don't even realize what's happening because they just like, oh, Drake lost $350,000. So he got probably $100 million contract
easily,
and it's work. And it's
Barstool.
It's one thing. Like, even I was talking to my cousin, and a few people in jail have told me this. Shout out to my guy Alvarez. Actually, I'm gonna be on honorary on Wednesday. But long story short, with United 914, there's a few things that you stay away from in jail. Few things I won't name, but one thing in particular that they all said is gambling. Don't gamble in jail, because you know why the reason why I say don't gamble, because you're going to lose, and if you're going to lose, you could potentially get killed. So to stay away from it, just don't gamble. I say that to say this gambling thing is a losing game. It ruins lives. That's a fact. Like, it ruins people's lives. It causes households to break up. It causes people to go into debt. It causes people to do irrational things. It's just like drinking alcohol. It's the same thing. Like, you drinking too much alcohol, if you ever know alcoholics, it doesn't end well. The alcohol thing doesn't end well for people. It's like drugs. And this gambling thing is not helpful. It's not. And I'm like, even Jaywan has said it, like, that was insightful for him to say, like, yo, like, it can humble you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to lose. Majority of people that gamble is going to lose. It's targeted to Black people. And they made billions of dollars off of it. And at some point in time, you got to have an investigation on this. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens every 50 years. Previously, it was the lottery. That was the thing that was targeted to Black. It was like, I see my grandmother spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. These are poor people that spending $10, $15 with the hope that they're going to hit $10, $15 million over the course of their lifetime. If they would have invested that money, they'd be millionaires.
Correct. Back to colonization.
It just gets reincarnated, but it's always targeted. They call it the poor tax. It's targeted to the most vulnerable population. I said this years ago. Rich people teach their kids about stocks. Poor people teach their kids how to gamble. So it's like everybody knows how to play CeeLo and Tonk and all of these card games, and now they know how to do over/under parlays, but they still don't know about how to invest in real estate or how to buy stocks. That's a problem. But we look at it as like it's entertainment. It's really dangerous, and it's something that is harmful. It's really harmful for the Black community. And sometimes, at some point in time, we got to have a real conversation, because it's only white people that's making money from this at the highest level. All these companies are owned by white people, and they only targeted, the majority of the people that they targeted is poor, uneducated Black people.
Well, and this is the reason why. And everybody that's watching this show right now, from the beginning, when I told you about the portfolio, what was the company that I said that y'all should invest in?
Yep, Draft.
The writing was on the wall. In fact, shout out to Larry. And I know you brought up LG.
He's a legend.
Larry actually lost his mom last week, so rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to his mom and the entire Grant family. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, my brother. But yeah, me and we were doing that. We was in FanDuel, so we was in DraftKings. We was making money, not lots of money, but I'm getting there. We were making money. In fact, it was the same way I would be studying. Like, I'm obsessed with sport, and so like I'm doing that. I'm winning money, but it's not like substantial money. He got to a point where he was betting real money and making substantial money. I've never seen a 2-week, 3-week run like he had. Was incredible, but I started thinking like, wait, if we're at this level and this thing isn't even legal in every state. Right. There was times when me and my boy were called to Vegas, like, yo, can you put this placement in, like because his sister lived out there, or New York didn't have it legal. So we'd have to go like, yo, somebody go to Greenwich to put this placement in for us. When it started to get to that level, I'm like, oh, we're on to something.
Yep.
I said DraftKings. If you look at DraftKings, how it's performed during the pandemic, since the pandemic, that's not going anywhere. The other one, and at the time it was FanDuel. But in order to know FanDuel, you got to figure out who owns FanDuel. So Flutter was the other company. Look at what Flutter has done over the past 2 years. That like this isn't slowing down. So like, yes, if you're gonna do that, and yes, I feel it's predatory. Like it's obvious, right? I'm watching Bill Belichick, and then I see Joe Button in the commercial, and Cam in the commercial. I'm like, damn, this is okay. I get it. But now as you run down the list of all that, I'm like, damn, this is really something. How do you combat that? Invest in that side. Or if that's against your moral compass, don't. But look at it from macro, micro. We got to figure it out.
The assets that are most important to invest in are always going to be marketed as the most boring: stock, real estate, private equity, government contracts. The things that are most exciting: music industry, pornography, drugs, gambling will seem exciting but pay a smaller dividend in aggregate. Always. And a lot of these games were taken out of our community and then whitewashed and then sold back to us.
That's why you got to be disruptive. You got to create a show where people actually realize that they can make money other ways. You got to be disruptive.
Yeah.
Disrupt the whole thing.
So Prize Picks ain't, when we run into them.
Let's say Market Mondays sponsored by Prize Pick.
So we said all that just to say, like, yo, what's up? Why y'all ain't calling us?
New ad.